with the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Good afternoon, Quad Cities. Good to hear you. Good to see you. Good to be around. We had yesterday off. Adrian had to take care of some things, and I just didn't want to go solo, buddy. I missed you that much.
That's got to be tough. You know, I couldn't imagine trying to talk to 2 hours just by myself.
I did it last Tuesday. It was pretty brutal. I'm not going to lie. You know, you can kind of tell, like, I only did, like, I think an hour Broadway or whatever else, but, yeah, you're just throwing out a bunch of opinions, and then you're just begging that hopefully someone calls in and says that you're ding dong, and that's about it. But, you know, I've done it before, and it's okay. I mean, if that's the route you want to go, but when in the situation like that we're in, without having like a producer who's going to have things written down for you and like a basically a list of things. I mean, if you're going solo, you got to start prepping probably about 5 hours before the show. Mm-hmm. So, but there's people that do it. And Colin Coward doesn't even do it anymore, and he was the best at it.
No, it can't be easy.
Yeah, he has an in studio. Well, she like is basically considered like his producer, but she talks with him all the time now. But he was the best at it for a long time.
And you can't shut him up sometimes.
Yeah, I know. And then I mean, the other thing is that Will Kane did it, but he relied very much on his producer. Same thing with Dan Patrick and the Danettes. I mean, it started off the Dan Patrick show, and then it grew into the Danettes. But he for years did it with Dibble. Kellerman does it just fine. I don't care for Kellerman that much. But he doesn't really, when he's talking, he doesn't rely on talking to the producers or someone else. He just kind of goes. But the other thing about that is when you're in Bristol, you can pull anyone out of the hallway and just say, hey, give us 15 minutes because they have guests all the time that are on. Well, it used to be before COVID, but they still do now. But no, we do have guests and phone calls today, and we got other things to talk about. We got a game 6, which is a big deal.
And I got the Bucks ride on Saturday.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. I think we
fun.
told everyone to do that. Well, this has made some weird changes. Now, originally, and I'm going to double back and make sure of this, though. This opened up at -5 Milwaukee tonight, and we're talking about Game 6 of the NBA Finals here. Milwaukee has a 3-2 lead. And this opened up at -5. It is sent this morning from about 6 this morning, roughly around 8 o'clock, it moved to -4.5, which means it's probably a sharp movement, not a pro movement. A Joe movement. I can't imagine the public moving it right now. So there had to be some money coming in from somewhere, either Vegas or in New Jersey, that was large enough from a sharp to move it a half a point in the last 4 hours. Well, I'd say last 6 hours. So we have to keep an eye on that. Now, it is Game 6 tonight, and we are going to talk to a gentleman, Alex Strofe, who we've had on the show before as well. He's from ESPN Wisconsin. We're going to talk to him about Game 6 and obviously Aaron Rodgers and Brewers and whatnot, what's going on up there. But I really want to talk to him about the atmosphere going on in Milwaukee because this is a home game for Milwaukee.
They doubled the fans outside. Is that what I heard?
They doubled the fans outside, and they moved the Brewer game. That's right. The Brewers play today at, I think it's 1 o'clock our time, 3 o'clock? I think it's 3 o'clock our time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they moved it up. So they had to basically probably, I wonder how that works. And someone can probably tell us in the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread. I wonder if Silver makes a phone call to Manfred and said helps us out, or if Manfred or the Brewers reach out to Manfred and just say like, hey, we think it would be better. I just wonder how that whole thing like goes.
Are those stadiums right next to each other?
No, not really.
They're not. Yeah, they're not that close.
No, the Brewers are off in the boondocks.
They're just trying to get everybody there.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to show it at Miller Park?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be something?
It would be. So I do know. Yeah, like I said, I do know that they moved it, whatever else. So, Roseman says on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment that they'd love to come chat sometime. He's got an open invitation.
There we go. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, and by the way, we do have something else to talk about, and it does have to do with bowling. Since he wants to talk about bowling so much, we can talk about it. We can talk about it now. It will right after the. Like I said, we'll talk to him at 12:15. We're going to talk to Adam Kaufman, his friend of the show. He was actually at the Nationals game on Saturday when the shooting happened.
Oh wow!
So we're going to talk to him at 12:15.
He was inside the stadium though.
We're going to do We're going to be there at 12. We're going to talk to him at 12:15. We'll call him or roughly around 12:15. At 12:30, we'll call Alex Strofe, and at 1:30, we're going to talk to DJ Jarvis from For Fantasy's Sake, the ones who are putting together the biggest and largest fantasy football league in the Quad Cities, and it's all for Toys for Tots. And we're going to let him explain a little bit more of it because I reached out to him, and at the end of last week when we were talking about the Scott Fish Bowl, and basically that's what this is. It's Scott Fish Bowl at Jace, and I asked him if is the scoring going to be the same, and he said unfortunately the ESPN doesn't allow it. Like some of the things that are different in Scott Fish is you get an extra half a point for every first down you get. So now think about that. It's already a PPR. Mm-hmm. And then you get basically almost every reception's a first down. Yeah. So that's going to bump up your receivers. The scoring isn't that way. So we're going to talk to him about what the type of scoring is, what the format is, everything from that, so that everyone can get the information and we can get them to sign up for it. I believe in how it's going to work into the Grand Champion, because if there's 6 of us and they want, I think 12 teams in each. Uh-huh. So how it will break down from there.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. He said I'm gonna get involved with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So are you gonna be like?
I don't know what we're gonna do. I just kind of told him that I would be involved 100%. And I think the conversation kind of ended right there. So I'll probably talk to him. So
hopefully, yeah. So and maybe we can get T-Ray. We can get more and more leagues because we're just raising more money for Toys for Tots.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if we can fill this up right away, the better. You just gotta go out and recruit people. All right, tonight's game is Game 6 in Milwaukee. All right? Most recent teams to be down 2-3 and go on to win the finals. The 2016 Cavaliers, the 2013 Miami Heat, the 2010 LA Lakers, the 1994 Houston Rockets, and the 1988 LA Lakers. The Cavs did it in the 2-2-2-1-1-1 format that's right now. The old format was 2-3-2. Over the weekend, this has gone from the Phoenix Suns to the Milwaukee Bucks or Darlings, and I can't wait to talk to Alex Strofe because these guys at ESPN cannot stop talking. For the first time in ESPN's history, they're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. I guarantee you. The last time I think the Bucks were in this situation was the Eastern Conference Finals, and I believe it was 2000, and it was Game 7. It was 2000, and they lost to the 76ers. Oddly enough, on that team was Ray Allen on the Milwaukee Bucks. Uh-huh. He turns 46 today. Happy birthday to Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Wow.
That still does not make me think that the Bucks are pulling this off.
You don't think the Bucks are going to win tonight?
I'm dead serious. I think I'm going Suns.
If that knee of Giannis's can hold up all game, I think all the motivation is that way. Everything's flowing that way.
It looks like it, but now I think I just want to be contrarian. Maybe that's it. I don't know. For some reason, it's just like the overnight, and I know it's not overnight, the over the weekend sensation of the Milwaukee Bucks, and we're going to talk to Alex about it too. And I don't know how much you listen to the Talking Heads in the morning, but it's as much as just like who's Batman and who's Robin. Yeah, that's the big one. And then they're calling them the Milwaukee's Big Three, and I'm like, are they? Is Drew Holiday part of the Big Three now?
This is what we're calling Drew Holiday?
Yeah, he gets to be part of the Big Three. Like, okay, like I don't remember any of this before, but.
And then watch Kuzma, or not Kuzma. Middleton plays like Kuzma tonight.
Yeah. So, those are things we're going to talk to Alex about and more. What we should do, and real quick though, I will, since I already teased it, I'll let you know. We'll do it, and then we'll actually come back to it at the top of the hour, or the second hour. But have you heard of this Bolero? Bolero.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is going public today at 2, and it's Bolero, which is expected to go public via SPAC later this quarter at $2.6 billion valuation. The company says it has 321 bowling centers in North America, which is 8 times more than its next closest rival, and often owns its own real estate. Basically, think of Topgolf.
Okay.
That's what it is. They're what they're seeing right now is they're seeing a change in youth too. That this bowling type of sports where you can and also socialize instead of going out to bars is through the roof.
Really?
So they're making high end bowling alleys type of thing. So now I don't know if there's going to be double decker places or whatever else, or if they're going to be somehow outdoor behind you type of open thing like Top Golf. I don't know. We're going to have to take a look at what Bolero is, but it's supposed to go public, and it's
so there's not one open right now. They're anywhere?
It says they have bowling centers, but it's its assets also include the Professional Bowlers Association, and they expect the SPAC deal to enable more bowling center acquisitions as there's still thousands of independent mom and pops. Most importantly, though, friends like Mike Roseman, that's what we would need to do here in the Quad Cities. I'm just saying bowling is growing, and it's coming.
That's a fantastic thing.
And that's a good thing. It's a good sign. We don't want to lose our local things at all. And trust, and we're years away from this happening in the Quad Cities. If we don't have a Top Golf yet, there's no way this is coming. But what the thing is you want to get in the next trend. This is it. Bowling's in that direction, which is awesome news.
Well, that's fantastic.
And that's what we like to hear. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, SPN 1170, because then we got to make a phone call and talk to Adam about the weekend over at the Nationals. We will be right back here. Don't hassle us, we're local.
I've been earning and burning, snapping necks and cashing.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Tyson Blazer, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 1170 AM.
Don't you feel so free out here on the lake?
Not as free as this soda.
Where'd you get free soda?
Casey's. Buy 4 fountain drinks, 5th one's free.
I love free.
Bought this jerky, got this free donut too. And these chips could win me a free Lee Brice concert here in our town.
With Casey's Summer of Freedom sweepstakes, the more you buy, the more you can win, including a free Lee Brice concert for your town. Casey's, here for good. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. For official rules, visit Casey's.com.
Beat the heat this summer with these hot deals from Tyson's. Now through August 1st, save on Comfort Zone fans starting at $14.99. Enjoy the outdoors with deals on patio furniture and garden decor now 30% off. Save up to 40% on select spring and summer apparel from great brands including Wrangler, Lee, and Dickies. Don't forget to sign up for Tyson's More Club Rewards and start earning points today. Shop these savings in-store and online now through August 1st. Tyson's, home, farm, auto.
Mike, I understand you need the parts.
Carly's Car Shop demands more engine-fixing horsepower. They need to floor it to find their staff some backup.
We need to finish up that coupe today. It cannot be here for another 2 weeks.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is a big deal. Now at healthcare.gov, millions more people can get affordable health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventive services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. You can have coverage as soon as August 1st if you sign up now at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
At Crawford Company, we specialize in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning. Sports, on the other hand?
Hey, Crawford guy, go long!
No, I can't.
Here comes the pitch to Crawford guy. Strike 3.
Come on, Crawford guy, take the shot.
Sports may not be our specialty, but home comfort is. Crawford Company, plumbing and drain cleaning, heating and air conditioning.
Your Make of My Weekend returns to downtown Rock Island. Saturday, August 14th, Caribbean culture comes to life with great food and live music featuring reggae and steel drum bands. Don't miss your headliner, Indica. Uncover the Jamaican culture at Coconut Grove and the Caribbean Market offering authentic island wares. Plus a 220-foot zip line. It's a tropical paradise in downtown Rock Island. Saturday, August 14th, starting at 4 p.m. Your Make of My Weekend. For more information, visit downtownrockisland.org.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Don't you? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Or are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. We got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Welcome back to Little Houses for Local here on ESPN 1170 AM. Sorry for some of those technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on with that commercial, why it was going to dead air, but kind of threw me for a loop there. All right, we got to make a phone call. We're going to talk to a friend of the show, Adam. He was out in Washington, D.C. for the Nationals-Padres game. He's going to give us a kind of behind-the-scenes look at what was going on over the weekend, so let's give him a call. I think. There we go.
It's catching up.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hey, Adam. What's up, man?
Hey, not much. How you guys doing today?
Doing well. Got a busy day ahead of you, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just blew up on me.
No problem. All right. I don't want to take up too much of your time or anything like that. So, over the weekend, you went to the Washington Nationals San Diego Padres game.
Yes, on Saturday, the infamous game that is being talked about as of lately.
Yeah. So what were you doing out in D.C.?
So, like every year, we try to do something, as a family trip or whatnot. And with things going the way they've been going, I've been kind of getting nervous about like things that you and I have grown up with as far as like monuments go and like different things that we grew up with and wanting to see them. So I've been trying to get my kids out to see stuff before, God knows what happens if something gets taken down because it's not correct or whatever.
Fair. So
I just want to, try to get my kids pictures in front of it. So if they ever have a question, I could say, yeah, you sat by it, or you've seen Lincoln's statue, you've seen the monument, you've seen all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we planned a trip to do that before school started back up. So we went anywhere I go. I always try to find out if I can get a ticket to like a professional game, even if I travel overseas or something like that. I've gone to a soccer game in Germany. It's something I try to do. It's kind of fun, and sometimes you can find some really cheap tickets. And this time I was able to find tickets for pretty cheap on StubHub for that game. Don't like either team, but it was kind of, one of those things where I could say, yeah, I've been in, the National Stadium. I've got to see it. So we planned that, and we go to the game, and I wasn't for sure how my kids would do at the game because they're quite younger. So we had all the intentions in the world of just getting out of there whenever we felt like ants in their pants started getting to them, and we weren't going to make them sit through a whole 9-inning game if they didn't enjoy it. So with that in our mind, we set out and we went to the game, and we were right above the bullpen, one row up, so we could have catched a home run if it came that way. And it was all right seats. They weren't nothing special. But then around the fifth inning, the kids started getting a little antsy and wanting to move around. So, we did the whole go to the concession stand, try to keep them occupied. And then right about the sixth inning, it started getting overcast, and they weren't having it. One of them was almost falling asleep, and it was like, okay, let's get out of here before the rush get out of here. So on our way out, one of the boys said, I got to go potty, so, whatever. So there is a family bathroom that is somewhat close to where we were exiting out of. So we decided to stop there real quick so that he'd go to the bathroom. And on our way up to there, humanity at its finest strikes, and some bigger gentleman decides to cut in front of us and go into that family bathroom solo, and then shuts the door. So we're sitting there, and I'm thinking to myself, like, seriously, this just happened. Like, I got 3 little kids with me, and you're cutting in front of me to get into this family bathroom. Whatever. So we sit there, and we're leaned up against the wall waiting for this gentleman to get done going to the bathroom. And all of a sudden people start, walking out, and, I look over at my wife, and I'm like, maybe, it started raining. And all of a sudden the people walking out started to do a slow-paced jog, and I'm like, maybe it's raining pretty good out now. And a couple minutes later, all of a sudden people are doing, a run. And my wife looks at me and goes, dear God, is there like severe weather going on? Like, what's going on right now? Why are all these people running? And pretty soon that run became like a straight up mob, like something you would see out of the movies. Like, it was intense just seeing all these people funneling through this hallway in the stadium, trying to get out, not knowing where they wanted to go and not knowing what was safe or what was going on at the time. And this is why I wanted to talk to you about this, because some of the reports that I heard early Monday morning were saying that they were trying to blame the stadium for making an announcement that there was a shooter and not describing or letting the people know what was going on. This all happened before they actually made an announcement that people were starting to scatter. So moving forward, this mob is running straight south towards us, and all I could think of is, Jesus, get the kids up against the wall. Like, I watched a staff member get ran over pretty much. He's on the ground. Another staff member pulled him off to the side. I mean, he hit his head. Like, I don't know if he's bleeding or anything. Like, I don't want to assume anything that was bad, but he was on the ground. And I seen that, and I just, grabbed my kids and grabbed my wife and tried to keep them up against the wall and just kind of put my body in between them and this crowd. And then the crowd shifted. Like, it went from running south to running straight north then. And it's just crazy to see how these people just change directions just like on a dime. And
I don't mean to
I'm
laugh,
just like
but
looking
yeah.
over my shoulder. Yeah, I'm just like looking over my shoulder going, what is going on here? And by the time, I'm tensed up, like I'm pushing against this brick wall, and I bet you my handprints are in this brick wall because I'm pushing so hard so that nobody, knocks us over or anyone gets swept out to it.
Of course.
And there's another lady standing next to us, and she had 2 kids with her. So I kind of took them also and tried to pin them up against me. So now I'm trying to make myself as wide as possible. And by the time I start to do this, an event staff member opens this closet door and starts waving us into it. So we go into this closet door, and this closet isn't bigger than, if I had to describe it, it would be the size of 2 handicap stalls. Okay. And she was able to fit, I want to say like 7 adults and like 6 or 7 kids. And it was pretty intense. So we're all trying to figure out what's going on. And the staff member says, well, there's been shots fired. We don't know where they're coming from, but it was somewhere along third baseline, she thought. And they're trying to get everybody to evacuate out of the center field or out of the first base gates. And so she's kind of explaining to us what was going on. And all of a sudden, some time passed. We're trying to keep the kids, occupied by, watching stuff on the phone, Peppa Pig or whatever it is. And we're all just kind of just sitting there wondering what's going to happen. And it's getting hot. Like, you got these adults and you got these kids and everybody's breathing, so I go to crack the door open. And when I crack the door open, there's another staff member just bawling like hysterically. And I yell out to her, "Are you all right?" and she just looked at me, and like she didn't look like she was in pain or anything. It was just the whole fact, and like the emotions were overwhelming to her, that what just happened, that she just witnessed, like all these people just running, hysterically, not knowing what to do, what was coming around the corner, and I can only imagine what she saw. And then I shut the door, and it kind of hit me then. It was like, holy smokes, we're all lucky, that we were where we were at the time. And, who knows what would have happened if we would have just, tried to get out when we did. And, you start thinking of all these like crazy things and different scenarios. And the stadium finally did an all clear. They made an announcement that said, all clear, everybody please exit out the center field gates. And then so that's where we were parked anyway. So we went down that way, and we're getting out, and I look out of the parking garage, and the sea of cop cars and the sea of red flashing lights was something like, you remember Blues Brothers, where they had like 9 billion cops like just chasing after one person. That's what it looked like out there. There were so many cop cars, so many squad vans. It didn't look like they had like the big like black Hummers come in or anything like that, but they did have like the paddy wagon type vans there, and I mean just sirens and everything. It was loud and crazy and all hectic. And then you've left from a professional game before, and it's hectic to get out of there at a normal game. So now take this and intensify it by like 100 people trying to get out of there in their vehicles. And it took me 4.5 hours just to get back on the road, away from the detours and everything else, to get back to our hotel room. And by the time we got back to the hotel room, we were talking when we got back to the hotel room, I was talking to a gentleman at the front door, and he was telling me that they were at the game too, and they were sitting along third baseline, and he told me that it sounded like there was someone like right behind him shooting.
Jeez.
Like it was very loud.
Because this was outside. This wasn't in the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not in the game. It was outside, but it was very, very close to where the stadium was.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, the way I'd explain it is like if you were to drive down Wrigleyville and right next to the stadium, that's what it seemed like to me. So if the two cars were chasing each other, shooting at each other, I mean, you would hear it if you were in the stadium.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that bugged me, is that one of the reporters I heard was saying that, you've got to kind of expect that you're in a big city market, this stuff goes on, it happens in Chicago and everything. And I just want to say, like, that's BS. Like, you don't hear of a Cubs game, being canceled because of a drive-by shooting or people shooting at each other, 20 yards away from the stadium. Like, you just don't mark that up as a big city accident. Like, to me, that was just another one of those things that the media just really ticked me off about. And I just wanted to let people know, like, the true story as I've seen it.
Yeah.
Like, I have no skin in the game. I have no reason to embellish anything. What happened is what I'm saying right now in my eyes. So, talking to that guy, it was like, that's why everybody scattered like they did. And it wasn't the stadium announcing that there's a shooter or there's been shots fired. And that's what made the pandemonium break out. It was more of, they heard that and were pretty much like looking at each other like, what do we do?
Yeah. So basically human emotion is going to take over in that situation. It's not an announcement that the media is telling you, and it's also not a situation of the media telling you, like, this is a risk you take by going to a big city for a game. That's not true.
That doesn't happen very often.
I've never thought, like, hey, do you want to catch the game? Someone asked me that, and then I turn around, I'm like, I do, but there's always that chance that I'm going to get shot at. I don't have that in me. Yeah.
When the stadium made the all-clear announcement, how many people were still left in the stands? Was it still about half capacity, or with all the scattering, did a lot of people get out right away?
So that's the whole thing, is that only on third base line, they were already all gone. Like, where that shots were fired, they were already all out of there. Like, I didn't see it. I'm talking to this guy in the hotel room because like I said, I was up against the wall waiting for the family bathroom because some inconsiderate gentleman decided that his business was more important than a child's business. So like I didn't get to see the stadiums like what it looked like because, like I said, we were standing there and we seen people walking out. We're like, oh, maybe it was overcast. We thought, oh, maybe it started to rain, and it wasn't until later when people were almost in a full sprint that we're like, dear God, is there like severe weather? Should we take shelter? Like, what's going on? Yeah. And then the announcement came over, and it was like, okay, like Jay said, it's survival mode now. It's like, what do you do? And the only thing I could think of doing is, I'm not going to get in that crowd and try to grab a child and run. My first thought is, just try to keep everyone safe and up against the wall so, they're not getting ran over. And like I said, thank God we were close enough to this. I would call it like storage room, utility / room, that we were able to go ahead and just bunker down inside. But yeah, like I wish I would have got to see the stadium, but from what I was told by the gentleman at the hotel lobby, he told me that they were empty within seconds. He said it was straight up everybody for themselves. That's in that madness. Area. And it wasn't until they made that announcement that the rest of the stadium overreacted, because you hear that and, maybe the stadium could have said there's an active shooter outside the stadium. Please stay in the stadium. I mean, maybe it could have helped.
Yeah, maybe.
Dealt with different, but, the damage was done. I mean, if I'm sitting across the field and I'm seeing all these people scatter, my brain's going to wonder, like, okay, why are everybody down there scattering?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that all happened. And then, of course, we get back in the hotel room and everybody's amped up. And I think I slept for, like, maybe 2 hours because, like, my brain just kept going places. And it was just –
of course.
And it was sad to, like, have that as a memory now. Like, I'm not going to try to, bring this up to my kids, like, hey, remember when we went to the national game and there was that active shooter? Like, I'm not going to bring that up. But what was even the crazier thing, and I didn't realize this, and maybe you guys did, the gentleman at the lobby told me at the All-Star game they busted a couple guys with a bunch of ammo and a bunch of stuff, and he told me that that's what went through his mind when he heard that. And did you guys hear anything about that? Or
Oh, I heard about it, but they said that was days before. It was like, I think Friday or Saturday before the home run derby that they were arrested. And the original story was that it was supposed to be like a Las Vegas style type of shooting. But then they came out later and they're like, no, this is not related at all to. But yeah, it was a maid that tipped off the authorities, seeing the rounds of ammo and guns in there. So she did the right thing. But the first report was it was supposed to be a Las Vegas style type of shooting. And then later on they came back and they're like, no, it's not. It wasn't related to All-Star game at all. So I don't know what the final thing of it is, and I'm not going to recklessly speculate on what it was, but I do know the story that you're speaking of, and thank goodness somebody who had the wherewithal to say something.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but there was also a report that really broke my heart, is that they had a little 8-year-old girl report that they asked her, they're like, oh, what'd you think of, this all happening? And she played it off like it was no big deal because, I looked everything up afterwards to see what was going on. I'm trying to, like, indulge myself on every kind of detail that happened that day. And this little girl says, I knew what to do. This is the second time this has happened to me, not at a baseball field, but this is the second time there's been I've been in a place with an active shooter. And I'm thinking to myself, this girl's 8 years old.
That's terrible.
And she's seen she's been in 2 situations where there's an active shooter. Like, that should not happen. And it's just, you question humanity at that point. And that's why I said, like, I only slept a couple hours because, your brain starts thinking. And you start sitting here going, gentleman cutting in front of me because he thought his business was more important than my kids. And then, this 8-year-old's already seen 2 active shooters. It's like, man, I know I'm from a small town in Iowa, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this could happen anywhere. It's like, how do you prepare yourself for this, and why should you have to prepare yourself for
That's
this?
the question. Why should you? Instead of, like, you want to sit there and feel like there's this, like, blanket reaction where everyone remain calm and calmly leave the building, but why should we even have that situation where we think about that? So.
Yeah, exactly.
All
But
right,
yeah, I
man.
just wanted to share that story.
I
and just set the
appreciate you
record
sharing your
straight.
story, man. And I'm glad you and your family are safe and everything. I really do appreciate the time calling in. And I know you got a busy day, so I'll let you go. But thank you so much, Adam. We appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I enjoy talking to you guys, and anytime I got something like this to share, I'll share it with you guys. But yeah, I just wanted to set the story straight, and it kind of upset me that they said that the whole thing was the pandemonium was all started by the stadium announcing it, and I just wanted to tell you right away. I think I texted you that. I was like, I got to tell you, like, that's not how it went down.
Nah, it's human emotion.
So,
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you so
fellas,
much. You have a
guys
great
have
day.
A good rest of your afternoon.
Yeah, you too. See you, bud. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's Adam, friend of the show. He's
What
been
a
on the show
story.
for- yeah, it's. I mean, he's right though. When your brain, when you have your kids there, and also you're trying to help out another lady, like, that's going. Yeah, you got to be thinking over and over. What if? What could have
I
happened?
like how you started it with that guy got in front of him and go to the bathroom too.
Yeah,
like,
because
take him off a little bit. Yeah,
but you would have been safe, and you would
in
have
the
been with
bathroom.
them. You'd locked in and everything else. Yeah, I mean, you would have been peeking your head out every once in a while. But yeah, all right. Well, we're going from that straight to another phone call. We're going to call Alex up at ESPN Wisconsin, talk to him about Game 6, what's going on up there. He's in Stevens Point, but still, it doesn't matter. I mean, he covers Green Bay every day on podcasts, and obviously he's got to be following the Bucks and the Brewers. So it's what a time to be alive up in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. What's up, boys?
Hey, how are you doing, Alex? This is Alex here.
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing well. Yeah, so did you answer when I was talking still?
Yeah, I heard you say, what a time to be alive in Wisconsin. And what a time to be alive in Wisconsin is absolutely darn correct.
Yeah, all right, so we're talking to Alex from ESPN Wisconsin up here. He's been on the show plenty of times, and I'm very, very fortunate that he answered my message when saying, like, hey, do you want to talk about Game 6 today? And so let's talk about Game 6 before we get into whatever you want to say about Aaron Rodgers, because we don't really know what's going on. You may have an inside scoop or whatever else, but really the most important thing right now is Game 6, what it's like in Milwaukee. I think I said the last time you guys were really in this situation was Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals in 2000 against the 76ers, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the sentiment, but no. I mean, the last time the Bucks were in this position was 1971, which was long before I was alive. I mean, Eastern Conference Finals is one thing. The NBA Finals and leading the series and only one game away from winning it all is a little bit different playing field. So I know this is by far the first time in my life the Bucks have been in this position, and it's pretty freaking amazing, man. The buzz around the state of Wisconsin is unlike anything I've seen since 2011 when the Green Bay Packers won Super Bowl 45.
Okay, we'll get to. I think the reason I was bringing that up, that Game 7, though, is because it's Ray Allen's birthday, so I was trying to make the correlation. So
happy birthday, Ray.
Yeah. So, all right. So as you said the last time, since you've seen a buzz like this since 2011, the Brewers moved their game up.
Yep.
How does that happen? Like, did the Brewers ask Manfred? Does Silver ask Manfred? Like, how did that work out? Do you know?
No, I actually don't know the intricacies of that, but I do know they've done that before when there's been game day in Milwaukee. I mean, you've been seeing it on TV now, the Deer District. Now they've widened it. So on what was Game 4 last week, they had 25,000 people now. They have widened Game 6 to 65,000 people in the Deer District, which is just bananas. They're closing down streets. There's going to be 18,000 people in the arena, 65,000 plus outside of the arena, and probably another 100,000 in bars in the area. So I think the MLB understands, the situation in Milwaukee. Obviously, I think players and owners, front office people from the Brewers want to support the other professional sports team in the city. So it makes sense. I don't know exactly what the order of events is there, but they've done this a couple other times this postseason as well. So big time. Awesome stuff.
So, all right, last time that a team has come down from being 2-3 and go on to win the finals was 2016, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They did that over the Golden State Warriors. We were mentioning that over the weekend, the Milwaukee Bucks just became ESPN darlings out of nowhere. And when I say that, the ESPN, the headquarters out of Bristol. And obviously you guys have, I mean, the Bucks are just getting hammered over this who's Batman, who's Robin thing. And then also there's a tie-in of like the big three now.
I like how quickly things can change too. Like last week, it was
Right.
Suns, and all over ESPN, and we've seen the next great team come up, and now it's they won a couple games. We're Bucks fans over here.
So I guess I'm asking you, who is Batman? Who's Robin?
Oh my! I hate this narrative.
I do too. So we can skip it. I really do. I think it's dumb.
Well, look. I mean, this is at the end of the day, this is Giannis Antetokounmpo's team. They're only going to go as far as Giannis goes. They can win without him in the Eastern Conference Finals against the 5-seeded Atlanta Hawks because Chris Middleton has a great game. It's Giannis's team. He is the Batman. End of discussion.
Let's talk about the Greek Freak and what a great quote over the weekend that he had. I mean, that's just an amazing quote. And to paraphrase it, from when he goes from telling the long version of it, but to paraphrase it, when you focus on the past, that's your ego. When you focus on the future, that's your pride. When you focus on the present, that's humility.
Yep.
How great is this guy?
He is, and I haven't covered him up close and personal by any means, but he is the most intriguing professional athlete I can remember. And I mean that nationally. I don't mean that from just a Wisconsin standpoint. He is such an interesting guy. And you're right. A quote like that and that was following a couple days prior when he said he left in the first quarter to take a tinkle. I mean, this guy is just phenomenal. He's funny. It's humility, right? As he referenced, it's all of that together. And he just hasn't grown this weird ego for a guy that's won 2 MVPs and is soon to be on a supermax contract. I mean, he just doesn't have the ego of a lot of professional athletes that have been in his shoes. He is certainly just an amazing human being. He's relatable in so many different ways, and he's just so easy to cheer for. And obviously, we're cheering for him in Wisconsin regardless, but obviously, you guys being in Iowa, you can't look at Giannis and be like, yeah, screw that guy. I hate watching him. He's awesome. You can't hate Giannis.
No, not at all. And like I said, that's one of those things. Like automatically, I down here, I have my daughter's on youth softball team. My son's on youth teams in general, and right away, I'm like, that's got to be on the back of one of their T-shirts. That quote. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it was just as good, if not better, than I got to take a tinkle. You probably don't want to put that one on.
I'm going to pass on that one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's switch over to the Brewers. 7.5 games up right now. You got to feel.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, the pitching's been solid all year long. I mean, kind of what you expected going in. You had the multiple All-Stars, and they're rolling. And if you break it down, looking at the remaining of their schedule or the remainder of their schedule, if they play 500 ball the rest of the year, it's going to take a miracle for them to drop out of first place in the NL Central. So, I mean, this team's good enough to make the playoffs, maybe even win a series, but there's obviously better competition in the National League. My expectations aren't super high for the Brewers, but they've been impressive this year. You mentioned it, 17 games over 500 just past the All-Star break. That's pretty impressive. That's nothing to scoff at. So, excited to see what they can do against Kansas City as that series gets going this afternoon.
Yeah, and then finally on Saturday, Aaron Rodgers sends out a tweet, one more with just a pound sign. What's that cryptic message about?
Well, it's about the Milwaukee Bucks. He's a minority owner. He hasn't showed up this postseason as we kind of been waiting on. That's been a big topic in Wisconsin sports radio the last couple of weeks. Will Aaron Rodgers show up courtside to a Bucks game? And he hasn't, and I don't expect him to either. Is that him, realizing he doesn't want to overshadow the moment for them? Is it him just distancing himself as far away from Wisconsin as he possibly can? I mean, there's all sorts of narratives you can jump in with this whole Aaron Rodgers situation. But yeah, that is in reference to the Milwaukee Bucks. He's a huge Bucks fan. He's been courtside many, many times, just not obviously this year in this postseason run. But as a minority owner, he's pretty fired up. It's if you look at it through football scope, Larry Fitzgerald, a minority owner of the Suns. So this is Larry Fitz versus Aaron Rodgers. Fun one.
Gotcha. See, I was thinking maybe he was hinting at one where you return, and then follow me here, Alex.
I wish.
Because on Sunday, we saw the return at Money in the Bank of John Cena, and he was wearing green and yellow.
Ooh.
And I was like, wow, is this a coincidence or what? So, but yeah, now that makes more sense that he's a minority owner, and it has nothing to do with him and John Cena color coordinating for one more team.
I like that. I like that tinfoil hat theory, though. You really dug in there. That was solid.
Yeah, well, I don't have a lot going on when you're watching Money in the Bank on a Sunday night.
I hate to revert back to the Brewers here real quick, but does Christian Yelich ever turn it on this year, or is this the guy we're seeing now for the rest of the year? Because it's been pretty remarkable what they've done without him, but if this guy turns it on, they're going to be tough to beat down the stretch.
Yeah, I think if we've learned one thing about Christian Yelich during his time in Milwaukee, it is he really does lock it in at the end of the year. I mean, I remember one year, the year he won the MVP, he solidified it in the last 2 weeks by just being a monster. And then the following year he got hurt, but he was still in the discussion towards the end of the year up until he got hurt because he was really starting to find his groove. He had a rough summer last year, but obviously kind of a weird year, shortened season. He started off really cold, kind of got his footing there towards the end of the regular season, but obviously not a full year last year. My expectations are still high. I mean, he's a superstar. He wasn't an all-star this year, but he is a superstar. He is Milwaukee's top bat, debatably. I mean, obviously you can make the case for a couple of other guys this year, but I think he does turn it on eventually, yes. But it might take some time. But I mean, with them cruising the way they are, right, 17 games over 500, comfortably in the lead of the NL Central, there's not a ton of pressure on Christian Yelich right now to be the superstar and the MVP we've seen in years past. So, yeah, I think he eventually turns it on.
All right, before we let you go, let's do some. Let's take a look at some Milwaukee player props.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, Chris Middleton, over under 25.5 points tonight.
That's a good line. I will take the under.
Take the under? Okay.
Yeah.
In the 3 victories that Milwaukee's had, he's averaged 29 points. But my opinion is this: I think they're going to hammer into Giannis a lot. Because what was the one when he shot? Remember those 17 free throws? He all but 5 of his shots came within 5 feet of the rim. I think they're just going to stick to that theory, that recipe, and just kind of hammer it into him and let him take over here. So I'm okay with that on the 25.5 under. Giannis, double-double. This is a hefty minus 600, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously. He does it every game just about. I mean, it's almost you can ride home about it. Minus 600. I mean, you'd have to put a hefty wager, obviously, but that's easy money. That's free money.
Drew Holiday, over under 8.5 assists.
Oh, that's a fun one, too. I will take the over here. I think we have another Drew Holiday solid offensive showing. He's been a roller coaster offensively all postseason. Obviously, he's been very, very consistent and huge defensively. I mean, he's one of the top defensive players in all of the association. But I think the Bucks win tonight, and I think sorry to spoil if we're going that direction here next, but Drew Holiday has another solid offensive shot. I'll go over 8.5.
All right, 100%. That's where the next direction was going. All right, so the Bucks win tonight. This opened up at -5. It has since moved to, actually now it has moved, it's moved to -4.5. So that's signaling a little bit of a sharp, a little bit of a sharp money coming somewhere to move it to 4.5 in the last 7 hours, because about 6 o'clock this morning it was -5. So there's a movement somewhere, and I don't know from who did it at what, but that's something to look into. Do you like the Bucks to cover the 4.5?
I do like the Bucks to cover the 4.5 at home. Look, I don't like reading into referees a lot, Jay, but I'm going to do it tonight.
Let's do that.
Scott Foster is the lead referee.
Mm-hmm.
When Chris Paul has Scott Foster as a lead referee in the NBA playoffs, he is in his career 0-12.
Yeah.
I think it becomes 0-13 tonight. And the last game that happened was Game 3 of this series, when the Bucks won by 20 points, and Giannis had more free throws than the Suns team as a whole.
Okay.
I don't think we get a repeat in that degree, or in that specific statistic category. But overall, I do think the Bucks win and they roll tonight. I don't know if they win by double digits, but I think they easily cover 4.5. I would hammer that home.
All right. Well, that's good to know. That's exactly what we need on this show, and we
Bucks and six.
Yeah, we like to make money.
Bucks and six.
The Bucks and six. All right, my friend. Tell everyone where they can follow you on social media.
I'm a good Twitter guy. At Alex_Strope. I'll be down in Milwaukee tonight. If they win, I imagine the city is going to go nuts. So I'll make sure to get a video of everybody climbing street poles and flipping cars, because I think if the Bucks win tonight, it is going to get nuts, and I can't wait to be there. So Bucks and six. Appreciate you guys as always, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Alex. You have a wonderful day. Have a safe trip, and good luck to the Bucks tonight. I hope you get a party.
Appreciate it. Me too, man.
See you, buddy. Take care.
Bucks
Yep.
and six.
Yep, Bucks and six. It's going to be every year now from here on out.
It's got it. So it's so much fun.
Great.
It is so much fun.
Yeah, Alex is great. That was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was cool to talk to.
So I thought the first guy was our Wisconsin guy.
Yeah. I really brought the mood down right away.
Yeah.
And then now look at me bring it back up. Yeah, so we're talking about that going on. We are going to have to take our second break of the hour. First, want to tell you about Hidden Hills Golf Course there at 4335 Indiana Avenue in Bettendorf, Iowa, just north of the TBK complex. We have Mike on every week. He'll be on tomorrow. We'll set our DFS that's going on. But, weather's getting nice. We don't have that rain that we had last week. Get out and hit the ball around. Out there at Hidden Hills, they have 22 holes that you can golf at, not just the average 18. And go to their website at hiddenhills-golf.com. And you can find out all about the upcoming tournaments that they have. I know on Tuesday nights they have leagues going on, and they have that Spark Golf, which you can join anytime. Look into that more at sparkgolf.com, and just Google. I'm searching Hidden Hills on sparkgolf.com. But that's Hidden Hills at 4335 Indiana Avenue, Bettendorf, Iowa. Call 563-332-5616, and to set up a tee time, give them a call. We will be right back.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Turk Wendell, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
Hey, Quad Cities, this is Kim from Berry Global, a Fortune 400 packaging company. I have some exciting news. We are hiring technical and entry-level employees at our injection molding facility right here in Bettendorf. Berry offers an impressive benefits package, which includes medical, dental, vision, 401k match, company-paid life and disability insurances, along with competitive wages and profit-sharing bonus. If being a part of an awesome team interests you, visit berryglobal.com to apply. That is BERRY global.com. Still looking for more information about Berry? Just say, Alexa, tell me about Berry Global.
One Night of Queen featuring Gary Mullen and the Works is coming to the Tax Slater Center Friday, July 23rd. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, pomp, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. This show will rock you. Tickets for the original day will be ordered for the July 23rd show. Great seats are on sale now at the Tax Slayer Center box office and Ticketmaster.com.
Mike Greenberg.
Aaron Rodgers has made chicken salad out of you-know-what in Green Bay for an awful long time. You think that team is so loaded? I'd like to see how loaded it looked without Aaron Rodgers. You put Aaron Rodgers on any team in the NFL, any team, and they're a Super Bowl candidate. You put him on any of the above-average teams in the NFL, and they're the favorite. You don't tell Aaron Rodgers, we're done with you, and we'll decide the timing.
Greeny, weekdays 9 till 11 on ESPN 1170.
Your legacy is important. Preparing your final wishes is a lasting gift to family and friends. Lock in and guarantee today's prices while alleviating the burden on your loved ones. Whelan Presley's pre-arrangement policies are guaranteed to be there when needed. You can even begin the pre-arranging process from home. Log on to WhelanPresley.com or contact us to get started. Trusted over 130 years, Whelan Presley Funeral Home and Crematory.
We would be honored and privileged to serve you.
Hey, Sarah, how's business?
It's going well. Our clients love our work. I just wish that we could figure out how to grow faster.
I hear you. Is it slow for everyone in your industry right now?
Actually, no. I see competitors all over who seem to be very busy, even though I know my work is better than theirs. I just wish I knew how they were finding new customers. If I could do it too, I know I could beat them.
Growing a business in the Quad Cities is challenging, and figuring out where to start is the hardest part. If your business does great work but just needs help finding more customers, then Town Square can help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis that'll show you how the most successful businesses in the Quad Cities grow and how you can do it too. These strategies are simple, and we can show you how to apply them to your business. Be one of the first businesses to sign up, and you'll receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Julio Jones does move on. He will be with the Tennessee Titans. And Key, you were shooting it down, saying it's not a good fit.
You're looking at him and you're saying production is going to come because they're going to throw the ball. They're not going to change their style. They've gone to the AFC Championship game, a couple playoff appearances on the backs of that running back in Derrick Henry. You think about the philosophy and style that Vrabel wants to play. They want to be big up front. They want to run the football. So you trade for Julio Jones when many people think Julio Jones is on the way backside of his career based on injuries. But I don't necessarily like it for Julio, and I don't know what to make of it for the Titans because of the style of play. They're not going to be the Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're not going to do that.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Join the fun in downtown Davenport at the Bix Block Parties. Bix Weekend, July 23rd and 24th. Enjoy a wide variety of local food, drinks, live music, activities, and more. Bix Block Parties are supported by the Downtown Davenport Partnership with the goal to celebrate downtown neighborhoods with multiple blocks of events programmed by local business owners throughout downtown. Sponsored by this station. Parties, bridge to bridge. See you at the Bix Block Parties, July 23rd and 24th. Visit downtown.Davenport.com for more details.
Get your sports fix while you work. Download our free mobile app and never miss a moment. From the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
We're back here on ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle for local. It's Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. Almost 1 o'clock here. Let's take a look at some of the game scores from yesterday. Adrian, if you're a gambling man and you like the favorites, it was not a good day for the favorites.
Not a good day?
Not a good day. They went 3-9. There was one game postponed. 3-9. Not a good day for the favorites. In game one, the Chicago White Sox, the favorites, they lost 3-2 to the Twins. In game two, the Minnesota Twins were the favorites. They lost 5-3 to the White Sox.
Oh, and that walk-off home run, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Washington Nationals were the favorite. They beat the Marlins 18-1. Toronto Blue Jays were the favorite against the Red Sox. They lost 13-4. Cincinnati Reds were the favorite against the Mets. The final score of that in 11 innings, 15-11.
Was that in Cincinnati?
It was in Cincinnati,
okay,
yep.
That makes sense.
Detroit Tigers, 14-0 over the Rangers. The Tampa Bay Rays were at home. They were the favorite. They lost to the Baltimore Orioles 6-1. Houston Astros did win. They were the heavy favorite against the Indians 4-3. Cardinals were not the favorite at home, but they won. They beat the Cubs 8-3. Arizona Diamondbacks were the favorite. They won 4-2. Oakland Athletics were the favorite. They won 4-1. And the Giants were not the favorite in Los Angeles, but they won 7-2. Taking a look at games today. One will stand out in particular, and we're going to read that one last. We have a 2:37 first pitch today, Los Angeles Angels and the Oakland Athletics. Oakland Athletics have a big day today. Huge day. And so much that we'll reach out to Emily Van Buskirk tomorrow. 8 Oakland City Council members today will cast their votes this morning. By the way, can you look that up for me while I talk about this?
Yeah.
If it's this morning, well, it might be still going on their time. Well, it's noon their time. They're casting votes this morning for the proposed Athletics $12 billion development and ballpark plan. The reason why this might be stopped, though, is because of the land that it's supposed to be built on. It's a real, OC type of thing. Why it matters, a no vote would almost certainly signal the end for the A's in Oakland and kickstart the team's relocation efforts.
That vote is today.
But they haven't got it. They haven't released it yet?
It doesn't look like it.
Okay. If they don't approve it, it's over, A's president David Cavall told the New York Times. We're hopefully that it's a yes, but with these things, it's hard to say. We remain apart. Why is this a big deal for Oakland sports fans? Well, the Raiders left for Las Vegas in 2020, and the Warriors left for San Francisco in 2019. It would be crushing for Oakland. And Emily knows a lot about this, so hopefully we can talk to her tomorrow after this vote comes up. That game is going to be at 2:37. We talked to Alex, and we know that the Milwaukee game got moved up to 3:10 today. They'll host the Kansas City Royals. Philadelphia will play at the Yankees, Miami at the Nationals, Red Sox at Toronto, Mets at Cincinnati, Detroit at Texas at Detroit. The Padres in Atlanta will be a 6:20 start. Minnesota at the White Sox at 7:10. Cleveland, Houston. Cubs at St. Louis again. Trevor Williams on the mound for the Cubs. 3-2 on the year, 5.51 ERA. Seattle at Colorado, 7:40. Pittsburgh at Arizona at 8:40. And San Francisco Giants and the Dodgers keep their series up at 10:10. There is a game time tonight at 6:10 that will be on YouTube, so everybody can watch it. It is a first time in history in Major League Baseball. And it will be the Baltimore Orioles at the Tampa Bay Rays. It is the first time Major League Baseball will have an all-woman broadcast team. And they will have the call for Major League Baseball's Game of the Week live on YouTube at 6 o'clock, our time. Let's see. Heidi Watney and Lauren Gardner will serve as co-hosts for the pre- and post-game shows. Sarah Langs will be the analyst. Melanie Newman will do the play-by-play, and Alana Rizzo will be the reporter handling game broadcast duties. So this 5-woman crew will be the first time it's all women covering the game.
And you said this is on YouTube?
It is.
Is YouTube sponsoring one of the teams now?
I don't know. It's their game of the week, and I'm not a YouTube guy.
Yeah.
So it's not often that I go on there. But the idea that it's possible for all fans when we are constantly complaining about what's getting blacked out or whatever else. So now, like, if you're YouTube or your kids are into it or the younger people and you like baseball and, we're trying to grow the game, young girls and boys will be able to watch this all over for free. It's on YouTube, and nowadays you have smart TVs that have that stuff up as well. So, I mean, that's a huge deal.
That's pretty interesting there.
Yeah, it's really neat.
When did they decide on this? I've never even heard of it. Did this just happen?
No, it's like...
They've been talking about this for a while?
It really wasn't. I guess I think they just kind of.
My last question: why the Orioles and Rays?
Because who I know one of them is like already does stuff for the Orioles.
Okay.
So, and let's see, one of them was just like I know him. Newman, the one I talked about. This is her. She's already done a YouTube play-by-play. She did her debut in June 22nd. She's an Orioles broadcaster, and so she's, like I said, she's no stranger to first-time moments. She's the first women's Orioles broadcaster and the first woman to do the YouTube play-by-play. It just was like going down. It's like you get your schedule, and it's like Major League Baseball just surprised him with it. Like they look at the schedule, and it just goes down the list, and then she's like, oh, cool, I've worked with her, or she's great, and then they realize that, like, wait, we're all females, that type of thing. And Major League Baseball hasn't done a huge deal. I don't want to say, like, I don't want to downplay it. It's not like Major League Baseball said, like, look at us, like, months ago. They didn't really even put this on MLB.com until yesterday. So it's not like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I like it a lot that it's not like, hey, everybody, focus on this. It's just like, here's a great story for you guys out there to read or whatever else. And I like that a lot more than, like,
any younger audience for MLB loves YouTube.
Yes,
they're
absolutely.
on there constantly. It's a great way to get them to try to care about the game again.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be a big deal, and it's honestly, like, I'm as much as we champion women in sports and everything, it's not going to be largely on my radar. I mean, because I've never watched a game on YouTube.
Yeah,
but.
So it's on YouTube, not just YouTube TV?
It just says YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
So that's a great question, too. So I would assume it's on YouTube TV as well. But, yeah, it's MLB's Game of the Week live on YouTube at 6 o'clock.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so, like I said...
that's a new thing for baseball. You don't talk about new things in baseball in the same sentence very often.
That's 100% true.
That's a lot of fun right there.
Yeah, so that will be going on tonight. All right. Some other things... like we said, we were talking about. I don't know. So you've been on this. You're on Game 6. I know I'm going to watch Game 6 tonight.
Yeah.
I've watched a total of maybe 6 minutes of this final. So
Really?
far. Yeah.
You host a
I know.
sports talk show.
I know. I just feel like I get busy. And
You get the
I lose-
highlights, and then
I lose track of things. So
you sound like you're 14.
So, but I'll tune in tonight, and the way that Alex described what's going on in Milwaukee is just
It's
awesome.
gonna be a sight to see. I almost want to take off right now and head to Milwaukee.
I know. And Stocking says in the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that Game 7 would be a ratings disaster. I think it will. I think it already is. I mean,
it's going to be.
But the scene in Milwaukee will be great. Like he said, Alex was quick to point out, like, it's not 2000, it's 1971. And again, like I said before, that was before the birth of ESPN. So this is the most the ESPN's talked about the Milwaukee Bucks and their entire, span that's been on the cable network. So,
but also, isn't it Phoenix? Don't they have plenty of space outside? I'm guessing there's no mask mandate or there's no mandate of fans down there, though.
No, there's no.
So,
Phoenix will. There's nothing down there.
Nothing down there at all.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is like, maybe it's just because of location.
Mm-hmm.
I know Phoenix has had their drought as well. I mean, the last time was what, 93, and I was thinking about that too earlier today. I'm like, only coach I can remember is Paul Westphal, and I don't even know who the coach is right now of Phoenix. But they've had a drought too. But it's not. Maybe it is just the overnight over weekend sensation of all of a sudden everyone's pointing out all the stuff going on in Milwaukee or Wisconsin, and if would it be completely different if they'd be showing stuff in Phoenix as well? I mean, the only thing we know of the Suns is the guy, Phoenix and 4 guy. Yeah. Suns and 4. Now you got that. Other news. ESPN2 has made an announcement that Peyton and Eli Manning will co-host a Monday Night Football megacast for 10 games each of the next 3 seasons. So there'll be 2 different casts. There'll be the main cast on ESPN, and then you get to hear Eli and Peyton on ESPN2.
It's going on at the same time?
Going on at the same time.
I'll be all over ESPN2.
That's what I was going to ask.
That's got to be a lot of fun. How is that not fun? It's just throwing some excitement in. I want to see him do some things like Tony Romo has been doing the last couple of years, where he's calling out plays before they're happening. You know that's going to be happening. And they're going to be are they doing it together, just them two?
It's just them two.
How is that not going to be entertainment by itself?
I agree.
Why is this on ESPN too? Why aren't we putting this on ESPN and just doing one broadcast?
Because they already have a deal with the guys that are already on ESPN.
Right.
I just think this is a way to basically they're ushering in
these guys.
Yeah, to see how they do. And I think I'm interested to see how good they do with each other, the rapport, which obviously they're brothers, but when it's not scripted.
Yeah.
Right. So I've seen on whatever channel it is, I don't know, on one of the streaming, I watched Peyton Manning host the College Bowl.
Uh-huh.
All right. And he does that with his older brother, Koopa. And they have like a give and take, like Cooper, I always forget. I think it's Koopa is how you pronounce it, but we all call it Cooper. He will have like these little like jokes in between because they're college kids in the College Bowl. And it'll be like, oh, yeah. Like one thing was like, it was a question about, and the answer was Ice Cube, the rapper, you know. And he's like, Cooper, what's your favorite Ice Cube song? He's like, Ice Ice Baby. And he's like, oh, dude. So, and then I've heard Peyton and Eli on Sirius XM when they were doing the George Strait like channel for over a weekend, and they were sharing stories because Peyton like actually is friends with George Strait, and Eli has been around him a few times. So they're sharing stories, but it's kind of like a give and take back and forth because they're hosting like for an hour, like our favorite George Strait songs. Again, is it scripted? I don't know. Feels like it is. How are they going to do back and forth? Like, are they going to make fun of each other? Are they going to do whatever else? Like, that's the thing.
There's got to be some of that involved, 100%. There's still cracking jokes.
And
I'm guessing there's some jokes being written for
Is
him
one
too
the
at the same time.
play-by-play? Is one the analyst? And who gets to do what? Is it 5 and 5? This has got to be a tryout to take over. I mean, to your point, exactly. When Tony Romo started doing so well, right away, everyone's like, all right, who's the next Tony Romo?
Yeah.
And we always
They're
like,
looking
Peyton
for him.
Peyton Manning's going to do it. Peyton Manning's going to do it. And then I know, like, Drew Brees will sign something if he hasn't. I think he has already. And there's going to be people out there that are, that are going to be the next guys. And some people don't like Tony Romo calling the games. They don't like that he's that accurate.
Well, I know people hate Eli Manning as well.
People hate
Eli. Just don't
Manning.
like Eli at all. I never understood the hate on Eli.
People don't like Joe Buck.
Yeah,
yeah. And I don't have a problem with Joe Buck. I think he's fine. But people hate him.
Did you ever see Eli or Peyton Manning stand up or not stand up SNL skits?
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are great.
Yeah, Peyton's are great. Eli does a good job. He's got humility and everything else, but the only other thing is he's signed a deal with the Giants to be. He's working with the front office, right? So he's just gonna show up at things like golf events or ribbon cuttings or I don't know. But he's gonna be the spokesperson of the New York Giants. So he'll have to fly back and forth and things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean Peyton's great on SNL and Eli has done a good job on his SNL skits too. So, but yeah, people hate Eli.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just the faces he makes.
Yes.
When he's on national TV.
And I think what we're gonna get here is people tuning in hoping that he sucks.
Yeah.
It happens.
Hey, yeah, absolutely.
And then also,
I wonder if he'll do so good that people will start changing their mind about him.
No.
Turn it in at first and then see how good he does.
I just don't see it.
You said people don't like how accurate Tony Romo is?
It's true.
Really? I
They
did
don't
not
like that-
I did not read that.
They don't like that he's calling out plays ahead of time or whatever else. They want to be surprised.
They want to be surprised.
But it's a few. But
yeah, it's not like every play.
Sometimes the minority's louder than the majority.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. People will spend more time tweeting about Joe Buck during the World Series than they're actually cheering on a team. I have no problem with the guy. And for everyone that says oh, he's a homer or whatever else, listen to him talk just once. And listen to him talk once, and he'll sit there and say every team I go to, every city I go to, they think I'm against their team.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, he tells a story about being chased into a bar down the street in Boston because Boston Red Sox fans are positive that he's against them.
Just doesn't like him at all.
So it's not just Cub fans that do that. Yeah. So, I don't know. It should be interesting though. With the Peyton, I will tune in definitely on ESPN2.
At least if it's awful, they'll get him out of there.
Yeah,
they'll switch it up real fast.
Yeah,
this isn't working.
They did that Dennis Miller thing back in 2001 when he was in the Monday Night Football booth, and they moved on from that real fast. Kornheiser did it as well, so it'll be just fine. All right, we're gonna take a quick break here. ESPN 1170 AM. Before we do that, we talked about the Athletics and a possibility that they're moving Oakland. All right, they moved to Oakland in 1968 after stints in 2 other cities. So here's your question. Can you name those 2 cities? So the Oakland Athletics moved to Oakland in 1968 after stints in 2 other cities. Can you name those 2 cities? We'll be right back here. ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Rachel Alger with St. Ambrose University, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Draft Day Sports Lounge has everything you need to enjoy all the sports action. Over 50 beer options to choose from, great food, sports betting, and a fantastic atmosphere for you and your friends to escape to. They're always adding to the menu to make sure there's the perfect option for everyone. So come visit Draft Day Sports Lounge inside Rhythm City Casino. And if you want to plan ahead, the full menu is at rhythmcitycasino.com.
This is Will at Dolan Jewelers telling you it's a great time to find the perfect engagement ring. We have a 1-carat diamond ring for $29.99. That's right, a 1-carat for just $29.99. Take advantage of our interest-free financing, and now that same ring is only $125 a month. We'll make it fun, fast, and easy with a selection of the most popular styles and diamonds. Visit us on Elmore Avenue in Davenport or DolanJewelers.com.
How hard can it be to find a Python pro?
Sam's startup had a front-end developer walk out the back door. He needs a new software engineer stat.
What do you mean they just quit? We go live in 72 hours.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Don't you? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Or are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170. Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation, Private. Astute.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Mike Greenberg.
Aaron Rodgers has made chicken salad out of you-know-what in Green Bay for an awful long time. You think that team is so loaded? I'd like to see how loaded it looked without Aaron Rodgers. You put Aaron Rodgers on any team in the NFL, any team, and they're a Super Bowl candidate. You put him on any of the above-average teams in the NFL, and they're the favorite. You don't tell Aaron Rodgers, we're done with you, and we'll decide the timing.
Greeny, weekdays 9 till 11 on ESPN 1170.
One Night of Queen featuring Gary Mullen and the Works is coming to the Tax Slater Center Friday, July 23rd. One Night of Queen is a spectacular live concert recreating the look, sound, pomp, and showmanship of arguably the greatest rock band of all time. This show will rock you. Tickets for the original date will be ordered for the July 23rd show. Great seats are on sale now at the Tax Slater Center box office and Ticketmaster.com.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Don't you? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Or are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Baseball is back, and you can catch every swing of the bat, every double play, and every strikeout at Circle Tap in Davenport. Watch every game on one of their 17 flat-screen TVs, or enjoy their beautiful outdoor patio. Get $1 Bud Family Drafts during every Chicago baseball game and take advantage of their daily food and drink specials. Plus, enter to win your favorite Chicago baseball team swag bag. It's valued at over $200. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends all baseball season long at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
You are listening to Don't Hassle Us Local here on ESPN 1170 AM, just about 1:20 in the afternoon, almost nearly 1:20. All right,
Is that something new you're trying?
What's that?
That little clip right there? Is that new?
It's just sometimes if I don't throw in the Cheech and Chong, it already has a bump in there.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I like that. Yeah, I didn't expect it. It kind of caught me off guard. I liked it.
Keep you on your toes. I asked you a question before we went to break. The Athletics moved to Oakland in 1968 after stints in 2 other cities. Do you know the 2 cities that they were in?
I only know one of them.
Okay.
Kansas City?
Kansas City, and the other one was Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
That's right.
Really?
Yeah, and obviously
that's a far
Stockpile
move.
was on top of that as well. Yeah.
You just go to middle of the
Interesting
United States.
fact that Stocking said Charlie Finley talked of moving the Athletics out of Oakland in the late 70s. Denver, Memphis, New Orleans were the rumored spots. If they do leave, I think it's probably Las Vegas. If he leaves the state.
I mean, it's got to be, right?
That's
You're
what
just
I
going
would
to follow the Raiders right out?
Denver, obviously Denver's out of it. New Orleans wouldn't be bad. Memphis wouldn't be bad either. So I did also, I told you that it's July 20th, and in 1969, July 20th, 1969, 52 years ago, the first lunar landing. Did we land on the moon, Adrian?
What's up?
Did we land on the moon?
100%.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not a conspiracy?
No. Definitely not.
Okay.
Didn't they just send somebody up today, too? There was somebody went to space today.
All right. So we're celebrating it, the 52-year later.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. July 20th, 1969, the Zodiac Killer was on the loose. The Vietnam War was going on. Bill Russell's Celtics just defeated Jerry West and the Lakers in the NBA Finals. Major League Baseball would be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 1969, and the strike zone was reduced from knees to shoulders to knees to armpits in hopes that it led to more hits. See? That's what baseball does.
That's what baseball does.
They'll change for more hits, even back in 1969.
And now they're on YouTube.
That's right. Months from now, the Mets and the Orioles will meet in the World Series, with the amazing Mets winning the series 4-1. The lunar landing happened at 3:17 our time. There were over 32,000 fans at Yankee Stadium watching the Yankees play the Senators that day, the Washington Senators, who later become, they moved to, are they the ones that moved to? I don't know. The game was tied 2-2 in the 8th inning when PA announcer Bob Shepard broke the news. He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. You'll be happy to know that the Apollo 11 has landed safely on the moon." The crowd went wild and the scoreboard read, "They're on the moon." In Montreal, the Mets and the Expos took a break between their doubleheader to listen to radio coverage, and similar interruptions take place at ballparks throughout the country. It's a historic day, one that will change human history forever. So that happened today. I am not in the camp of we didn't land on the moon. So
yeah, join me right there.
And I'm not a flat earther as well.
Yeah, so Blue Origin today, they launched the first paying passenger to go to space.
Somebody paid?
Somebody paid. Jeff Bezos?
Okay.
Bezos?
Uh-huh.
Let's see. First paying customer. It left from a tiny town in Texas. Van Horn, Texas. That was the launch site today. Yeah, I was at the gym this morning. I just looked up, and all of a sudden they're sending something in space. And I'm just like, who would have thought? If I woke up before 9 one day, I'd watch somebody go to space.
I wish it would go back to the days that it was a big deal that people got around television to watch that stuff.
Yeah.
Brad Hines just said that. I thought the Senators became the Twins, but I felt like 1969 seemed weird. But yes, the Senators became the Twins because a lot of people, and myself included, think that the Senators went to Montreal. But obviously that couldn't happen because they were in Montreal at the time when that happened. So yeah, I thought that. Don't give me. And then he says, "Some fan you are, LOL." I thought it was the Senators. I just didn't want to be wrong, and then the other thing around. So yeah. Let's see. And Stocking says in the Heritage Pub Facebook comment thread, most likely the A's, if they go, most likely going to Las Vegas, but Buffalo, Charlotte, and Tennessee would be dark horses. Charlotte wouldn't be bad. Don't want to see Buffalo. Don't need another team. I don't want a team in the Northeast. I wouldn't mind Memphis. Charlotte wouldn't be bad. It's probably going to be Las Vegas. That way they can keep them in the American League West unless they turn around and do anything. So, but yes, I'm not going back to it though. I'm not a flat earther either. Not one bit. So I mean, some people are, some people aren't.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
No. Yeah, in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by DJ to talk about the fantasy baseball league that's going on. What I'm trying to see here is any line movements that are going on today, according to.
For the Bucks game, is that
No,
moved anymore?
that hasn't. I'll check that in a second. No baseball ones that have changed in the past 5 minutes. The Milwaukee line has moved down at South Point, Milwaukee versus Kansas City, the one that's in the afternoon, to minus 155, and majority of the sports books have followed suit except for the Circa. This opened up at minus 170. It's now minus 155, which means it's a sharp push for Kansas City Royals if going from minus 170 to minus 155, and this is the past 5 minutes. Same thing happening in the San Diego versus Atlanta game. San Diego opened up at minus 156. It has been pushed all the way up to minus 170. All the way up to minus 180 in some books. So there's a sharp movement is there. And in the past 2 minutes, everyone's following suit. They just changed theirs. And then past 10 minutes, Boston at Toronto. Toronto opened up at minus 135 favorites. This is being moved down to minus 130 at some. So that's, again, another show of sharp movement betting on Boston on the being road dogs. And, wow, the Sharps are on Minnesota Twins at the White Sox. White Sox open up at minus 180 favorites. This has moved all the way down to minus 140. Just a little update for some of you out there who like the gambling talk, because I do. Now, before DJ answers, did you watch Money in the Bank?
I did watch Money in the Bank.
Big E, former Iowa Hawkeye.
Former Iowa Hawkeye. I love it. What a time.
Yep.
It's fantastic for him. I think we're going to see some great things in these next coming storylines. Did you watch Raw afterwards?
I did not see it last night.
Keith Lee returned.
Oh, good.
And then he got pinned in like 5 minutes by Bobby Lashley just to let Goldberg return.
Oh.
It was just kind of a bummer. Like, why save him for that?
That's not good.
It was unfortunate. The rest of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view was great, though. John Cena coming at the end.
That was a big deal.
The kickoff show, you saw the Usos win the tag team championships. People were a little upset about that because of the recent DUI.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting. What else? The women's Money in the Bank, Nikki Ash.
Yeah, and then she cashed it in last night.
She did.
And so she's the new women's champion. But so we saw, just like you said last week, Seth Rollins came in and he interfered in the match.
Yep. Exactly what.
Yep. Exactly what that was going to happen. I mean, they didn't. That's one of the few times that they don't.
And I mean, what a match is Edge and Seth Rollins going to be? That's going to be fantastic. Can I get that no DQ, please?
Please.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
And then John Cena comes out. People go nuts. He just gives the "you can't see me" type of thing. And so that's your SummerSlam matchup, right?
Yep. That's your SummerSlam matches up. Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. You're going to have Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal.
Okay. First things first. I'm gonna always just keep my same position. I've never been a Goldberg guy. I will not become one, and I have no idea why he's still wrestling.
He just got a contract. You sign a big deal, show up 3 times a year, wrestle for the title, and then leave.
What does he bring to the table?
They're just trying to show him that they can beat these big guys, these tough guys that used to be unstoppable.
No,
but the only thing is that he's just losing now. Like, if he were to win one, let's get him. Like, I'm not saying he needs to win one at all. Nor do I want to see that. But there's no relevance to him anymore. There's nothing there.
I thought the big thing to push was going to be like Lesnar's coming back, not Goldberg.
Lesnar's. I don't. Contract negotiations have stalled according to everything I've seen.
Have you seen his new look with the goatee and the hair and a ponytail?
A little ponytail in the back. Yeah. Not bad. You didn't watch any of Raw?
No, not last night.
Oh, man. It was a good Raw. I mean, with the fans back, it was a lot better than it had. Karrion Kross came in and wrestled Jeff Hardy and lost.
Yeah.
I just don't get what is going on with this booking. They're just handing the top role to SmackDown. Like, SmackDown does nothing, and they just do a fantastic job every week.
Yeah. And then Friday, that was the first time that they had fans back, right?
Last Friday.
So...
which was sold out, which is fantastic. I heard that they've already canceled a show in September, though, or moving it because of Atlanta. Oh.
All right, we got our phone call. We're going to talk to DJ Jarvis here. Here we go. All right, you're on the air, ESPN 1170. Who we got?
Hey, guys, it's DJ.
All right, DJ, what's up, my man?
I hated breaking up the wrestling talk.
Don't worry about it.
We'll get right back into it.
Trust me, there's a lot of people that do not hate it at all. You're fine. Yeah.
So before we talk, my buddy actually asked me today, how do you pronounce Big E's real name?
Oh, that's something that I need to take to Kakert and or Pat Anger, to be honest with you. We've talked about it. I know Kakert's talked about it on the show before or whatever else, but it's not something that kept in my brain. So
that one's a tongue twister.
Yeah. So what we've been talking about, and we want to continue to push, is this fantasy football league, which is all right. We last week we talked about the Scott Fish Bowl and how it's basically Scott Fish Bowl adjacent. And for people who don't know, it's the biggest pro-am fantasy league in America. And Scott Fish has been doing this for years. He's won multiple awards because he's given money to charity. And if you're listening to anything fantasy football related right now, that's all anyone's talking about because the slow draft happened and everyone wants to talk about their teams and they want to compare things. So really it's been going on, I would say the past 2 weeks, like people talking about the Scott Fish Bowl. So I never heard about it at all until you got a hold of me relatively early, like, hey, we want to do a draft. Then I was listening to some fantasy football stuff on Sirius XM, and they were talking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if it's the same thing. So I started looking into the two, and then I reached out to you, and I'm like, is this a Scott Fish Bowl type of thing? And I know in your post when you put out, and by the way, go follow For Fantasy's Sake on Facebook. When you put that out there, you kind of alluded to this will be a Scott Fish Bowl type of format. But there are some differences. So can you explain to everybody like what it is that you're doing and how you came about the idea of this?
So, like you said, it was kind of based off of the awesome tournament Scott Fish puts on. And what happens with Scott Fish Bowl is it's not a paid thing. You don't pay to be in, but he encourages you to make a donation to Fantasy Cares, which at the end of the season, they take that money and he sends it to people in different cities to do shopping for Toys for Tots, and then they donate those toys. What happens is a lot of those people who are invited to do that shopping are in the bigger cities, which makes a lot of sense because there's more people. What we wanted to do For Fantasy's Sake is make it so we can do that here, because I know we have a lot of families in need here. So we wanted to be able to give back to our community. So we wanted to set up a league with some local, quote unquote celebrities, counting ourselves because, we're awesome people. But we wanted to be able to do that and be able to give back to the community here.
So how does it work?
So basically what we're looking for now is 66 of our followers, your followers, other people's followers to sign up, pick whatever division they want to be in, who they want to play against, whether it's you, myself, our other co-host, Doug Green, Chris Hassel, who's a St. Ambrose alum and works for CBS Sports now, Julian Vandervelde, former Hawkeye, former NFL player, and Craig DeVries, former sports writer at the Times, and he just wrote a book about the John Deere Classic. Mm-hmm. And then we'll do drafts. Unfortunately, MFL, My Fantasy League, where they host Scott Fish Bowl, it does cost quite a bit of money to play there. So we would have to do ESPN, and it would be a one-day draft as opposed to overtime. But you would play in your league. Whoever the champion of that league would play the other champions in Week 17. Highest score would be, our grand champion. And we're in the process of coming up with prizes for the winners. What we are asking is a $20 entry fee from the people, the 66 participants. That way we have a seed of money to shop with at Toys for Tots.
All right. I want to get back to when you had to the grand champion, because I understand a little bit how Scott Fish Bowl works, but ESPN, like you said, so now instead of an extended draft, you're going to ask it's going to be a one-day draft. So basically, you're going to have to be in front of your computer, right?
Yeah, or your phone, because ESPN does allow you to draft from your phone.
Are you going to have every different? So if there's 6 of us and you're asking for 11, so basically it'd be 6 divisions of 12 teams. Are you asking for everybody to draft at the same time?
So it wouldn't require us to all draft at the same time, because it would be 12 or 6 different leagues, so 6 basically independent things. So we could stagger drafts and stuff like that based on what would be easiest for the you, me, whatever the quote unquote celebrity person.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Make them all at one time. Like, I'm serious. Yeah. It's like the same thing. Like if you have district wrestling, it all starts at noon because they don't want anyone to see what's going on. You don't want to see. So like, what I'm asking here is the grand champion. How does this work? Because I know the Scott Fishbowl, it starts breaking it down slowly by week 14 through 17. Like they'll take like the top 4, and then there's wild cards. Like how are you getting to the grand champion scheme of it?
So we will actually, instead of doing, because Scott's basically would be not a tournament, but like a highest scorer team. Our 6 divisions would have an actual tournament to decide the division champion. And then that last week, that week 17, those division champions will all set a lineup, and then the top scoring team would be the grand champion.
Okay, well, that makes all the sense in the world. So week 16, that's when your champion is going to be, that's brutal, though, because week 17, if teams are sitting out.
Don't forget we have 18 weeks now.
18 weeks, there we go. So you're doing it, you're doing you're doing it the right, because the bye week, duh.
Yep.
Okay, so it's, all right, so yeah, we're good to go there. So basically, it's the one thing that and Adrian and I, we talked about this, we speculated that so the final week, it's the week that you actually get to go up against 5 other teams, and whoever has the best score wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can own a lot of the same players too, which will make it very, very exciting to set a lineup against those teams.
And that's exactly it, because what if someone just follows the same pattern as somebody else, and they're like, I like the way they drafted. And
I never really thought about that.
And I know and I'm assuming it's going to be snake style, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so
unfortunately, like with the Scott Fishbowl, we had an interesting wrinkle this year where in the 3rd round it reversed the draft order. So round 1 was 1 through 12, round 2 was 12 through 1, and then round 3 went back to 12 through 1. So unfortunately with ESPN, that's not something we'll be able to do, but it was an interesting wrinkle in the Scott Fishbowl.
I saw that. And can you explain that to us? Like, what does that mean?
Just basically the person who picks 12 instead of having, the 12th, 13th, and then I'm bad at math, whatever 25th best player, they are actually they're getting the 25th best player. So instead of waiting 24 picks to go from round 2 to round 3, they're just waiting 12 picks, and the person who picks number 1 isn't getting, the number 1 player, the number 24 player, and the number 25 player.
Okay, so what I'm assuming is 1 through 12, first round, and snakes back there. But the beginning of round 3, the 12 picks again.
Yep,
and then one will be on the hinge between 3 and 4.
Yep.
And then it flips again.
I like that.
It flips again.
I actually like that.
I picked I had draft pick number 3, so it was actually. It was hard to strategize for it because it's just something you've never done before.
Okay, so you're in the Scott Fishbowl?
I am, as is Doug.
Okay, so, all right. Now, this is what we're trying to explain to everybody. This is a very long draft. You have 4 hours, right, in between to make your pick?
8 hours.
8 hours, but
8 hours. Yep.
I think there's also if you don't make your pick within the 4 hours of the first round, then you might be substituted in. That's what it is.
Correct.
So you have 8 hours, and I think it pauses between 1 and 7 o'clock, 1 and 8 o'clock our time, or something like that. How long did you have to? How long did it take you to get this done?
I think ours took less than a week. I think we started on the July 5th, and I think we finished that Sunday.
Okay.
And we actually had a guy time out twice, so we actually had a guy take 16 hours to make 2 picks.
Did they? And they didn't replace him?
They did. He never actually he timed out once, and then he was able to get a hold of Scott to actually get a pick for that. And then the next time he took 7 hours and 58 minutes or something like that. And unfortunately, he was the guy right before me. So. Oh
no! Because I looked at the Scott Fishbowl online, the rules and everything else, and it's like you can be replaced at any time. You time out, you're subject to be replaced. So
yeah,
that's interesting. And that sucks that it's right before your time to pick. So how's signups been so far?
We have a few people. Got a couple people who want to play against you, which would be fun. But obviously it was something we've only thrown on our social media once. I actually threw it up before I came up on here. So
yeah,
we just got to keep promoting it. I would love to start the draft somewhere in mid-August, just so we can get an idea of what people we have and stuff like that. So
yeah. So it is on your Facebook page for Fantasy Sake, and
yep, on our Facebook page and our Twitter feed.
On your Twitter feed, and it's easy to sign up and everything. And like you said, it's just $20 to get in, and everything's going to Toys for Tots. Do you need local businesses to throw in like gift certificates to donate for winners, or what are you looking for?
We're actually, the hope is to take out of what sponsorship money we get to kind of give away prizes. I know I've talked to Adrian, and I'll use a portion of what we get from different businesses to give away prizes.
Okay, well, but we can. So if I write something on ESPN 1170 AM trying to promote this and get going, do I have your permission to sit there and say, like, hey, if you're a local business that just wants to promote your business and maybe give a $20 gift card or $25 or whatever else, can I do that?
Yeah, for sure. That would be awesome, because obviously, as people putting in $20, everybody, a lot of people wonder, what's in it for me. So if we're able to ahead of time tell people, okay, this is part of what's in it for you, people are more willing to want to part with their $20.
Are you looking to getting anybody else, your quote unquote local celebrities, or are you good with just the 6?
I have a couple messages out to a few more people. So, I mean, if anybody's listening to this and is interested in jumping in, we would love to have you.
Okay. Well, I'll reach out to a few people, whatever else. I just think I think you're sitting on something that you don't realize how quick this can blow up.
Yeah, I think it's something we're about to see blow
up real
quick.
I would love for it to blow up, and because as the conversations you and I have had in the past, we're kind of like you guys. We're not in it for ourselves. We're in it to provide something to the community that doesn't have, and we're all about giving to charity the best we can as well.
Yeah, because right now people are going to be, let's just say post Bix, the sports community around here is just going to be chomping at the bit for football, and the idea of being in the biggest, the largest, and let's just say probably right now the best league. I know it's just one thing, but is everyone wants to be at the beginning of something. Mm-hmm. And I think you're going to, I really think you're going to be bigger than 6. I think you'll find people that will, you'll have more people. I think you'll be telling people we don't have enough, like, quote unquote celebrities, but I think you can, and I think we can get people in there that'll do it. You can have, we can reach out to Randazzo, we can reach out to Anger, we can reach out to Kakert, T-Roy, Adrian can do one, like, it's up to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't know if this is a hassle for you at all or anything.
No, we want this as big as possible. We the more money we are able to raise for Toys for Tots, and we're gonna invite people to come shop with us, because how cool would it be to say, here's a couple $100, go shop for toys.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had that kind of disposable income to where I could just shop for toys and whatever I want, so we want to make as much money for Toys for Tots as possible.
Well, I say we blow this up then. I think this is a great idea, and I really do appreciate you asking me to do it. How did you get Chris Hassel involved in this?
I sent him we've DM'd back and forth about stuff and just his connection to the Quad Cities, and I sent him a DM a few weeks ago, and he said, dude, I'd love to be in something like this. Because he just, again, it's somebody who went to college here, would love to give back to the community.
Interesting. All right, well, I might reach out to him and try to have him be a guest on here just to see, just to keep promoting this and everything. And I can't tell you how great I think this idea is, and I think you guys are sitting on something huge. And I know it may be the Scott Fishbowl of Jace, but it's your guys' thing for fantasy sake, and you guys do a great job. And I think it's just awesome to even be a part of it. And for every little thing that we have out there, and everyone, for every one person who says, like, I'm already in enough fantasy football leagues, they can add one more.
One more is not too bad.
Yeah,
what I've seen from this community is, like, something like this, people want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great thing, and you're going to want to hop on right away.
And that's kind of why we put it at $20, is because, that's not, when in the grand scheme of things with what people invest in fantasy football, it's not really that much. It's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah. Is there? All right. So let's break it down real quick. It's regular format scoring.
Yeah, it'll be PPR regular format, except the only wrinkle will be 6-point quarterback touchdowns and then 4-point interceptions.
Okay. So wait a minute. So -4 for interceptions?
-4 points for an interception.
Okay. We're doing regular quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, tight end, flex, and kicker?
Yep, no defense.
No defense. Okay.
No
and
defense.
most of that's all that I'm sure I know I've already read it, but most of that's probably on your posts on Facebook and Twitter at For Fantasy Sake, right?
Yep.
All right. So I just want to I'm asking all the questions just to make sure so when I put something together in writing we can do that. So I just want to get as much as we can out there and tag you guys in it and try to promote this as much as possible because I mean, who doesn't want to be in the largest fantasy football league? And how cool is that if instead of just you win your league, instead of going against 5 other people, you're going against 15 other people, you know, and it's winner take all. And that's
how cool would it be to win and say, I'm the best fantasy football player in the Quad Cities?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And who doesn't want to have that?
Yeah, let's. And there's
exactly.
DJ, and you've got, you know, we've got the places or whatever else. Like the final game, if it could be at Frick's, it could be at Pints or whatever else. We all get together.
Plenty
we have
of
a good time,
locations,
you know, or we just have meetups every week and just kind of change the location just to watch football because. Again, I just think this is awesome. So we can go as far at whatever you say. If you say like, "Hey, do you know any places?" and we can reach out to someone for you, a place, and just say like, "Hey, do you guys want to host an event and give a drink special?" We can help you out there.
Yeah, we want this to be, like I said, we want this to be as big as humanly possible. We want to raise money. We want when they do the Toys for Tots drive at WQAD, we want these Marines to be overwhelmed that 2 or 3 cars are pulling up with cars full of toys.
Well, yeah, then how can Randazzo tell us no if WQAD is doing it? Yeah, so.
Right?
Yeah, we're definitely going to make this work. All right, tell everyone where they can follow For Fantasy Sake.
So we're on Twitter Twitter and Instagram at FFSQC. I think that's what our TikTok is as well. And then Facebook For Fantasy Sake.
All right, I'm gonna get something together. Hopefully by tomorrow, something written up, and then I'll tag you guys in it. But if you don't mind, I'm gonna reach out to a few people and see if we can just add them to your list of celebrities and everything else.
Sounds good. I'll shoot you a DM with my personal email address, and so you can send me whatever you're able to, whoever you're able to conjure up.
Sure. Absolutely. Hey, thanks for the phone call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks, DJ. Appreciate you. Yeah. Dude, it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I got to get signed up right away.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of I mean, that is super, super cool. And I think it's I don't think he realizes how big it's going to blow up.
I wonder if he's going to think about doing anything for like the last place or like anything like that.
Yeah,
like, it's always fun. Always
once it gets that big, you know, you never know. All right, we have to do a break here, and we'll come back. We'll wrap it up here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us. We're local.
The Rock says he's going to make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us. We're local.
Tyson Fresh Meats in Joslin wants you to join their team. If you're a motivated individual, this is the career for you. They have immediate openings in general production. Pay begins up to $20 per hour with daily attendance incentives and a $3,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today to get your $3,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, a $3,000 sign-on bonus. Go to TysonFoods.com/careers. Feed your future with Tyson Fresh Meats.
Attention business owners. If your biggest question is, how can I find more customers? Then Town Square can help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis that will show you how the most successful businesses grow and how you can do it too. These strategies are simple, and we can show you how to apply them to your business. Be one of the first businesses to sign up, and you'll receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
It's time to rise and grind. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
I don't know if I want Justin Fields right out of the gate just to be the guy. I would like for him to ease himself into it. But I started finding myself thinking, if he does start right out of the gate, does that buy Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another year? Is it bad that I'm even putting myself in that situation now? I'm thinking about, are you doing what's best for the player, Justin Fields? Are you doing what's best in the interest of Matt Nagy or Ryan Pace to make sure that, hey, we gave our rookie a start, we gave him everything he needed, a quarterback like Andy Dalton who's there to help him out, build him up. It's going to take some time, guys. But we got to be patient.
This isn't Jacksonville. This is a playoff team. I wouldn't mind starting him immediately because they got pieces in place, especially on defense. Offensively, they've gotten better. Allen Robinson is back now. So when you look at it, it's like, if he wins the job, it might make sense to start him.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
We've all had that dream. Tie game, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. Well, on FanDuel Sportsbook, you get more than one shot to swing for the fences. Because FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free. That's right, new users get up to $1,000 back in site credit if your first bet doesn't win. And it only gets better from there. Check out FanDuel's new promo live every Tuesday. $5 Dinger Tuesdays. Place a $25 or more wager on any player to hit a home run on Tuesday and get a $5 bonus in site credit for every home run hit in the game. Max $25. I'm betting on Jesse Winker to hit it out for the Cards. There is a reason FanDuel Sportsbook is America's #1 sportsbook. The app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and always-on promotions to let you get more action out of every game day. And when you win, FanDuel will pay you your winnings in as little as 24 hours. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Trevor to get in on the action. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Trevor. 21 plus and present in Iowa. First online real money wager only for risk-free bet. Refunded bonus issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25 per game. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Unfiltered. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
Does Aaron Rodgers get moved before the season starts?
The two teams in the AFC for me would be the Raiders. And I know they got Carr, but you send Carr back to Green Bay. I know John Gruden he's probably sitting there just trying to figure out how to get that done because he's never satisfied with the quarterback spot. And
Never.
Think about it. He tried to get Brett Favre when Brett was 60. So, I mean.
But if you think about it, though, as far as location goes for Aaron Rodgers.
He was Vegas.
Vegas would be, Vegas would be optimal. Obviously, Bay Area, where like that would have really been.
That's why he was
better
really
for
pushing.
him. Yeah.
He was really pushing for that San Francisco opportunity because they had a winning team. And the Raiders, maybe he is a guy who can kick them over the top. But those are the two teams in the AFC that make sense.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Mornings on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
So you're what they call an industrial athlete, but this ain't no gym. You're working hard. You got the right tools to get the job done? Would you play football and roller skates? I don't think so. So if your gear is beat up, tore up, all around mucked up, come on in and boot up at Quad City Safety, 5311 Tremont Avenue, Davenport. Or check us out at quadcitysafety.com.
Every kid has potential, regardless of their circumstances. On August 21st, more than 100 people will be rappelling down 11 stories of the Hotel Blackhawk to support children in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. Each edger has a goal of raising a minimum of $1,000, and you can help them achieve it. Support kids in the QCA. Go to overtheedgeqc.org and donate to any edger. That's overtheedgeqc.org. Presented by Active Endeavors.
We're talking about every Major League Baseball game right here. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Thank you for tuning in to ESPN 1170 AM. Don't Hassle Us Local. I want to thank DJ for calling in from For Fantasy's Sake. Go to their social media and look up that link. We'll soon be sharing that as well. I know I did last week. But go sign up, find people, and then we're going to try to add more and more teams in there. We're going to try to blow this up as much as possible, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Like we said, games today that are going to be going on all over. Major League Baseball, there's a game starting at 2:37 here. Angels at Oakland, Kansas City Royals at Milwaukee, Philadelphia at the New York Yankees tonight. The rest of these are all night games. Miami at the Washington Nationals, Red Sox at the Blue Jays, Cincinnati hosts the Mets, 6:10. Detroit hosts the Rangers. Baltimore at the Rays. That will be the one that's on YouTube that you can watch for free. It's an all-women broadcast team. Padres in Atlanta at 6:20. Twins in the White Sox at 7:10. Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the White Sox, 7-3 on the year, 4.25 ERA. Cleveland at Houston. Cubs throw out Trevor Williams on the road. He's got a 3-2 record, 5.51 ERA. St. Louis is still to be determined. I'm sure it's updated by now. Seattle's at Colorado. Pittsburgh at Arizona. And San Francisco Giants at the Dodgers. 9:10 pitch for that one. Congratulations to the Davenport Assumption girls softball team. They won their first round game yesterday in Fort Dodge. They are on to the semifinals. Tonight, this afternoon, Pleasant Valley will play Southeast Polk. Pleasant Valley is 33-7 on the year. Southeast Polk 21-18. Pleasant Valley is the number 2 seed. At 7 o'clock, Bettendorf will play the number 1 seed Fort Dodge and the host team. So they'll have the entire town cheering against them. Fort Dodge is 35-4 on the year. Bettendorf 25-15. But don't forget that Bettendorf did knock off the number 1 ranked team in when Muscatine to get to state. So Assumption will play Atlantic tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Atlantic's 34-5 on the year. Assumption 38-3. You can watch those games. Go to Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, and you can find it there.
My nephew's on that Muscatine team.
Really?
Yep.
They had a good team.
Yeah, really good team. They're going to be good next year, too.
Yeah,
he's really pumped about next year.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about girls softball.
Oh, sorry.
He's on the baseball team, but their baseball team was good,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, but they play out there, too. Yeah, Pleasant Valley's got a really good team. I don't think they've gotten anywhere to – I don't think they've gotten the state things done yet for boys baseball, but Pleasant Valley's got a really good team. So Eastern Iowa is well represented in baseball and softball as far as high school sports go. Let me take a look here, and I think Wilton is the number 1 seed in Class 2A. They won 7-2 yesterday against Pella Christensen. They'll take on Earlham. That'll be tomorrow at 11:30. Earlham's 33-9 on the year. So, like I said, we're well represented all over the place. What do you got going on the rest of the day, bud?
Rest of the day, we're going to go clean my house. Just lost a roommate. Time to pick up some things.
Yeah.
He's got excess stuff that's just laying around, and I don't have a place for it yet. Took a lot of the furniture out of the house.
Yeah.
It's always hard. You lose a roommate after 5 years. Things are going to go missing now.
That's true. So nothing going on at Frick's though?
Yeah, just hanging out there, getting ready for Game 6. Obviously, I'll be down there later tonight cheering on the Bucks. I've had a nice little Bucks crowd, good 8-10 people coming down there every game. Actually, it's made me change my not just change my opinion, but like when I'm down there, I'm like, well, I'll buy them shots, get them a round of shots real quick, and then I can not yell Suns and 4 anymore.
Yeah, that's over.
Across the bar. It's not a good look.
I will be watching the game, but I also will find a way to have the Bettendorf game on in the background. That's why I watched a little bit. That's why I wasn't.
What are you going to be able to
watch
that on?
It'll be online.
Will it?
Iowa Girls High School.
Okay.
IGHSAU.org, and they do them all live. And I was watching some of the Assumption game last night as well instead of the Monday Night Raw. I'll be tuning into 6, hoping our guy Alex who called in will be able to celebrate. I want to thank Adam for calling in, telling us about the situation that happened when he was at the Nationals Padre game over the weekend. Alex for calling in from ESPN Wisconsin, talking to us about Game 6. He says it's a lock. Hammer the -4.5. So we're going to hammer the -4.5 because we have to believe him. He has inside knowledge better than we do. And then thanks to DJ for calling in as well. Adrian, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, absolutely. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
We're going to make it happen. I'm going to reach out to Emily and see if we can talk to her tomorrow because, like we said, we want to know.
Still no update on this Oakland thing.
Okay, so I'll text her and reach out to her, but she might be on the road doing media days. I think, do you remember when we talked to her if she was going to SEC media days?
Was it? It wasn't.
I know she applied for Big Ten, and she's going to go to that in Indianapolis.
It wasn't yet, though, was it?
I thought SEC started yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, I don't remember saying SEC. She's got a good following SEC crowd, and she knows a lot of the coaches, so I wouldn't be surprised. But I'll reach out to her and figure it out. But other than that, great day today. Get out and enjoy the nice weather. Go to Hidden Hills. Go golfing. And when the sun goes down, go golfing at where Roseman's at.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Get out there and do that. You guys take care of each other. Quad City, stay safe and sanitized. We will see you tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves.